Former CIA agent says aliens exist and truth about UFOs is indigestible. The truth about the phenomenon would go far beyond the simply extraterrestrial, with the ability to transform our world and reality as we know it, he says. The words were spoken by Jim Semivan, a retired CIA agent in 2007 after 25 years of service, who was recently interviewed for the engaging The Phenomenon channel. There are a lot of problems associated with revealing this. In this particular case, the government decided to keep it secret, so over the last 80 years, this has been to the detriment of many people who have had experiences and been told that they are crazy, which is exactly the opposite, said the former agent. I have met people who are aware of this, and as I mentioned before, one of them told me that the truth isn't digestible. It's not something that we can fully understand or accept. It would be like telling someone something they can do nothing about and not knowing the repercussions of it. It's so big, so life-changing, and perhaps not in a good way, he said. Faced with such a statement, James Landoli, his interlocutor, asked him what could be so shocking and disturbing for the public if the general notion is that we are being visited by some extraterrestrial intelligence a little more advanced and perhaps developed than us. I think, Semivan replied, I think it goes much deeper. If you talk to the average American, they are not that interested in this issue. We who are discussing this are part of a very small group internationally that cares about this issue, but we are a very small niche. This phenomenon does not affect most people's personal lives, he said. And in talking about this with Lou Elizondo, he once drew me a Venn diagram on a whiteboard. On one side was consciousness and the other side was quantum theory. The shaded part in the middle, he said, is probably where this is. And if you think about it, what are the two things that we don't know much about? Consciousness, whether it's local or not, and quantum theory. In the early days of quantum theory, in the 1920s and 30s, it was understood that we are immaterial, basically an illusion. Atoms in general are invisible, but there is no matter there. We are just forms of energy. Now imagine if the president had to explain this on national television. There's no way to do this without causing a huge shock. If this fact is declared, there's no turning back. But it's said that another presence in the universe visits us and we do not understand it. It has capabilities that defy our understanding, such as manipulating matter and the electromagnetic spectrum, and can show us things that may or may not be real at the same time. This introduces the idea of sovereignty, free will, and raises questions about whether society can bear it. The socioeconomic and religious implications are enormous, he concluded. Some even suggest that this fact, that they are not simply aliens, is what has been holding up recent efforts by the U.S. Congress to gain greater transparency about unidentified anomalous phenomena, what we call UFOs, a term, it should be noted, that replaced the more simplistic UFO precisely to give more layers of depth to the reality of it. This is on Infinity Explorers by Anshu Vastava. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.